Butter.
Mommy, can we go out and eat tonight? Maybe go to Minnesota so I can get the right. Fishing on the whaler, Burger King tonight. Bring it back what I don't eat, it is only mine. Can we go out and eat tonight? Eat tonight. Wanna go to OCB to get all I can eat. Maybe go downtown if it's not too steep. Bring it back what I don't eat, it is only mine. Can we go out and eat tonight? Eat tonight. Big Mac fillet and fish, quarter pounder french fry, icy cold thick shit, sundae and apple pie. Bring it back what I don't eat, it is only mine. Can we go out and eat tonight? Whoa tonight, eat tonight. Whoa tonight, eat tonight. Whoa tonight, eat tonight. Whoa tonight, whoa. Can I go out and eat tonight? Day and night, outside, Sean night, Mike night, Fresh White, Bob night, eat tonight, whoa. Mommy.
You gotta have barbecue. Oh, that feels good. Oh, that feels so. Oh. Everybody
I am Mummies on Main Street.
I am the illustrious Method Mike A.
We are here today to review the MisFATS. What am I talking about? The MisFATS album. And we are very lucky today to be joined by one Mr. Rami Stein.
Fuck off.
And one Mr. Mike Noble.
Yeah.
There was something before the MisFATS, and that was the Misfits, of course. So we're going to talk to you about how we found out about the Misfits to begin with.
Well, I grew up in Eastern Kentucky, actually. I was like a hillbilly who got into the Misfits because of that Metallica covers album, Garage Days, where they covered they did a medley of Last Caress and Green Hell. And I think the first album I got was Walk Among Us, and all my friends got into it, and we were all running around with the skull patches on our Levi jackets and the whole deal. It was a big thing around in Hazard, Kentucky, thanks to me and my buddies.
I think it's probably like one of my friend's older sisters had like Legacy Brutality from the 80s, and us being dumb kids, we were like, ooh, what's this record? Then I remember in high school, the only records out for me was like Walk Among Us and Misfits, which is now called Collection 1. And then 95 rolled around, there was Collection 2, the box set, and then more things became available, and I just got hooked. I think I was like into the Misfits more than Danzig, and then I eventually just, because of that, became fond of Danzig and the middle band, Samhain or Samhain, or whatever you want to call it. I'm a nerd.
I was playing in a punk band around 1995. We were doing a talent show, and we were trying to cover really short, simple songs to play. From the Metallica of Live Shit, Binge, and Purge, it was Last Caress, and it only had like 6 chords total, 3 chords in the chorus. And then it's like, you know what Danzig dude from For All Demon Sweat Live on a Buzz Bin? This is his original band. They were around the early 80s, the Misfits. And like, oh, that's really interesting.
My daddy was a vampire. He was very into holidays, especially Halloween. So we grew up with this love of characters and monsters. And it wasn't until I got into college and one of my roommates played me the song Halloween. It was like all the jack-o'-lanterns in my world just lit up all at once. This is so catchy, and it's got this 50s crooning, the horror, monster, campiness. It was like everything I loved combined into one thing. So I was a late bloomer, but once it got its hooks in me, I was an official fiend. Obviously, we wound up with this MisFATS album, including such hits as 20 Eyes, nope, Greasy Fries. Mommy, can I go out and kill tonight? No. Mommy, can I go out and eat tonight? Rami, how about you give us a little background into how the MisFATS came to be?
Oh, right on. I don't even know how to start this. I think I was living in Jersey at the time, and I was living with these musicians who were playing with other musicians who were in the Misfits at one point or another. The Misfits are like in our blood, in our veins, So something so dumb and so stupid, like just sophomoric. We had to look into this, and then like one of my friends ended up playing with them their last show, and he came back with this like size triple XL T-shirt, and he goes like, he's like a kid, like, look what I got. And I'm like, what is this? I was like, it looks like Bullet, but they basically took the picture of Kennedy grinning, and then it was like a sunny side up egg, bacon slices, and maybe there was like a frying pan. And instead of like Texas is the reason that the president's dead, it said breakfast is the reason that I get out of bed. I lost it. Like the two of us just been like laughing for God knows how long. They're two stupid children.
Now, every single shirt that the MisFATS sell should only be XXX or above.
It was, I think it was 2X and up only, which is like the complete opposite how most bands merchandising at concerts goes, where it's like, if you are some guy that needs that size shirt, you have to run and hope you are the first guy there that size that gets those shirts. Because I've worked merch tables where it's like, what do you got in 5XL? It's like, excuse me? It's like, I'll take all of them. Like, oh, okay, money. It's like, like you said, Mommy, can I go out and eat tonight? Which I remember being called, Mommy, can I go out and grill tonight? Maybe they changed the name of it when they recorded it officially.
Okay, so there's a big question here, because this MisFATS that we listened to was the original MisFATS, and they say on their Bandcamp that the current MisFATS, I guess they gave them the name, or they gave up the website domain, and those guys continued to carry on the name. I get the feeling it was well-intentioned, like they got along or like agreed to it, but
like a passing of the torch.
Yeah, there's a passing of the gravy, if you will, from one MisFATS to another. What did you guys think of the album? We're probably not going to go track by track for this. I mean, do we want to get into the depths of Greasy Fries? What did you guys think they meant by that?
I love Greasy Fries.
Yeah, it's making me hungry right now. I don't know much to say about the album. It's just it just sounds like a local band got in the studio for a weekend, had some fun, knocked out some tunes, plug and play, I guess you could say, and that's it. It's quick, it's funny. I think my favorite part on the entire EP is when the guy's voice when he's like, "Mommy, can I go out and eat tonight?"
Oh, that feels good.
It's like he just sounds so like grubby and just like you could just like see the sweat coming out of his tank top and just like the fries all over and the leftover like lettuce and onions and mayonnaise from the burgers that dude just ate, and that made me laugh.
One of the lyrics in that is, "Mommy, I'm a big boy."
See, you couldn't like overanalyze it and like, oh, he's making a reference to the big boy punk band from Dallas, Texas, who played punk funk in the early 80s.
"Mommy, I'm a big boy."
Yeah. Question about these guys, like, what came first, chicken or the egg? Were they just like big dudes who were Misfits fans? How did they meet? Like, were they friends at concert? Or is it like big dudes who got together and were like, oh, you're big, I'm big, you like food, you like the Misfits, let's do this. Like what was the whole deal, or is there no deal?
You would like to think like maybe they met at the hospital, like then they, because they had some kind of diabetic episode. And then they're let's just form a band.
Let's just roll with this.
Literally.
Yeah.
Rami, what do you think is the MisFATS' favorite food?
Whatever Elvis died from eating, probably. Whatever was that, like deep fried banana, peanut butter, and
Tuna fish.
lard or some shit. Something I've probably put together drunk one night, everything in the kitchen together, grill it, fry it.
Well, speaking of that, there is a healthy angle too. Like Doyle is vegan now, so it's kind of the regular the regular Misfits, they're like jacked, man. So I think that's another part of what makes this whole angle even funnier. Is it's not just like some regular band. These are like jack dudes, the twins of evil, Jerry Only and Doyle, just these towers of power. And Danzig's, big.
Danzig,
not a big.
He looks like he could put some hamburgers down though. He's got those massive love handles.
He does like his chocolate cake.
Yes. And his apparently Wendy's chicken sandwiches and French onion soup from these stories you hear all the time.
Big shout out to whoever made that YouTube video back in the day doing the.
Oh my
You guys
Yeah,
know
that.
all right. I mean,
Duh.
Remy is the go-to for Misfits information, man. He is a Misfit Central.
No, that whole Danzig shopping list thing. I don't know how many times me and my roommates would just be like, like just walking around the house, like to ourselves, just like as you breathe air. We were like,
What was some of the other items on the grocery list?
Shrek 2 on DVD.
Shrek 2 on DVD.
I don't remember. It was so long ago. It's been 12 years since that came out. I'd say maybe 13. Jesus.
Yeah, I need a cat litter. Oh, the cat's scooter too.
We all gotta have our own Danzig impression for this episode.
Yeah.
Another thing was we used to always do that howl at the was it off of Danzig 3, Heart of the Devil.
Heart of the devil.
Like out of nowhere. Just walking around the house. Especially when you're living in Jersey.
People just fascinated with Danzig have created all these memes. I should know I dressed up as Danzig for Halloween and had Rami take my photo at a PetSmart carrying kitty litter. And Rami was Doyle. We got to...
It made me dress up like Doyle. He kept insisting. I was like, fine. And I bought a wig. And because I didn't have long hair.
You loved it.
Got lots of compliments in the East Village. Lower East Side.
Yeah, you guys killed that. I remember, like, those are some nice costumes.
So I'm just going to read off the track list real quick. So we got the names of the songs anyway. For Bulk Among Us, it's 6 songs. It's really more of an EP. It's like 10 minutes long. Greasy Fries, After 20 Eyes. I Turned Into a Lard Ass, after I Turned Into a Martian. Diet, which is after Bullet. I guess that kind of works. Mommy, Can I Go Out and Eat Tonight? After Mommy, Can I Go Out and Kill Tonight? That one really
Mama, I'm a big boy. Mama, I'm a fucking tent.
Being Lean for Halloween. And of course, the closer, We Are All Overweight, or We Are 138. Resist the Weight Watcher hell. Our waistlines have all swelled. We're striving to be bigger. We are all overweight. We are all overweight.
I didn't like to take that. I don't know why. Like, maybe it's me being an asshole, like Bob Rock. Like, do it again. Like, I felt this take could have been a little bit better technically. Just didn't work. Maybe they were all out of breath from being overweight and recording 5 songs in one weekend. But like this, there wasn't a lot of energy.
Yeah, the original Misfits recordings were nothing to special.
Yeah, no, technically, I mean, I think the MisFATS probably were, precision-wise, they were probably better recordings. They were pretty good, though. The vocalist, he didn't sound like Danzig. That's the problem I had.
Well, I guess the original singer had more of that bellowing, like, going on with it.
The original singer. If you look at the Bandcamp.
Oh, and then someone else. So the guys that...
Yeah,
all right, so
go to the MisFATS.com. It's a picture of a big fella, of course.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's the proper bellower.
Yeah, okay, so then he was better.
Gotta wonder what the dance floor would be like at a MisFATS show. I mean, there's got to be some sliminess going on in that pit.
The one time they played the East Coast, I missed it because I think I had to go to a wedding, and I kind of regret going to that wedding instead of the show.
I would much prefer to go to a MisFATS show versus a wedding.
MisFATS any day.
Yeah.
I hear something that sounds like a starving boar.
Oh, you guys can hear him?
Is that your dog?
Yeah, he's
That's
sleeping.
hilarious.
Yo, Nathan is all up on the MisFATS episode, man.
He's got 20 pies.
Just overall thoughts on this. Generally, Misfits fans all have a sense of humor, that twisted, dark sense of humor. Like, Danzig's really quite funny. People don't give him credit for actually being a funny dude. Just as a big Misfits fan, you will definitely appreciate this. It's just fucking funny. You can pretty much put any words over these tunes and it will still sound good.
So juvenile, but like you can't. If you don't laugh at it, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. I give it a thumbs up.
Two things. One is that it's funny. It's a nice like haha chuckle. Another thing is if you're dating somebody, it will tell you a lot about them. Like if you put it on and they're like, you got to turn this off, then it's like, all right, this is not going to work. Get out of my life. Like you got to end this relationship. But if they laugh at it and can appreciate that shit, then you're like, okay, you're a keeper.
Anyone who turns this album on expecting to go to the depths of someone's soul is sadly mistaken. I think you would just get that from seeing the cover. Usually when you see a hoagie, you don't think deep thoughts.
I do.
Oh yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
That's true. I shouldn't give hoagies a bad name here, a bad rap. Oh,
So
yeah.
like, wait, hoagie, is hoagie like regional? Because I didn't hear the word hoagie until I was in Jersey.
Yeah, we used to call it wedges.
No, that's a Westchester thing. Wedges.
Hoagie versus wedges versus grinder.
Yeah, Grinders is Philly, right?
Yeah.
And a club.
Club too. Yeah.
And a
No,
sub.
Where do you are these guys from? Like where are they from?
I know the second iteration was from like the California area of some,
Okay.
maybe
They
LA.
ain't if they ain't from Jersey, man.
Yeah, like yo, I saw the hoagie and I was like, okay, so these guys are from like, because Jersey's like a tweener state where you get the top half is like more New York influence, the bottom half is more Philly. Like, okay, these guys are like Southern Jersey, but I don't know.
You think this is like a proper grinder?
That is like middle America, just like, Jesus Christ, man, get your heart checked out.
Someone on the internet made a Lodi Pizza Misfit shirt,
Nice.
which I felt was pretty fitting for this recording.
And I did take you guys to Lodi Pizza, so very fitting for the three of us, at least.
I've been there. Is that that's Lodi Pizza? That's not Pizza Town.
No, it's
Pizza
Lodi
Town's
Pizza.
in Lodi too.
That's
Very
true. Me, Rami, and Method Mike A did a Misfits trip to Lodi, New Jersey one day. And
Yeah.
basically went around the town and mostly we wound up at a bar. The awning said just a bar. And we were like,
Nice.
sounds good to me.
And then one of my buddies who lived in the town over texted me going, what the hell are you doing there? There was just a shooting a few weeks ago in there.
We go in there and there's this one guy just talking extremely loud and being very boisterous. And it was like, oh God, what's this guy's deal? We wound up getting a conversation with him. Turns out he was one of the Misfits original roadies, like way back in the late 70s.
Yeah, he was Jerry's like childhood friend. He knew the family, but like walking in, you know that aura like of a guy when you go into a bar from like a place you're not from. You're like, he's like he is the town. Really nice guy. Had a fun time talking to him.
It was a great random trip. We just I'd gotten so into the Misfits at that point, and it was cold that day. And I basically dragged these two out there. I was like, hey,
freezing. It was snowing.
Misfits trip. And yeah. So moving on, this is not the first time a band has sung about food. There's a lot of famous mock bands throughout the years. Some that come to mind, Spinal Tap, Weird Al Yankovic.
It's bands that are kind of satirical in nature, but put food elements into them. Like Ween, for example, they're very satirical and sarcastic. They've had 2 albums after food. Here Go Up from the early '90s, and White Pepper from I think the early 2000s. Jimmy Buffett, he's like Margaritaville, and
I hate that.
Oh, please.
I mean, it's just it's like you gave up on life. I just anytime I hear that song, it's like, well, why don't you just plug yourself in the head? Like if you're gonna listen to this song, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
One grave with that song. I like it. Like I hear it. I hear that like.
Yeah.
I have to second that. It's like along the lines of like Hotel California. I just get this like
Yes.
this is just like
I stepped on a Pop-Tart and blew up my flip-flop or whatever that fucking line is. You know what I'm talking about in Margaritaville?
I don't want to.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
some
no,
line, there's some lyric about he stepped on a Pop-Tart and blew out his flip-flop. And I guess that's supposed to rhyme, but it's awful.
That's atrocious.
Yeah.
Shame on him for that line. Shame.
You would have got away from the cops too, but you were wearing flip flops and you fell. You tripped over your own ass. Don't wear flip flops.
Because you stepped on a Pop-Tart.
And stepped on a Pop-Tart.
Yeah.
Shame.
Nibbling on a sponge cake, watching the sun bake. I blew out my flip-flop, stepped on a pop-top, cut my heel, had to cruise on back home. But there's booze in Margaritaville. Fuck you.
Stepped on a Pop-Top. So it's a can, not a Pop-Tart.
Regardless, erroneous, whatever. Shame.
Erroneous. It's pretty awful.
The one other band, like I'll just throw out there really quickly, the most satirical ones for food-wise is the Dead Milkmen, and not so much in like they're like a satirical band in nature, like punk rock. And there's a period when Dead Milkmen and King Missile bands like those bands were charting in the early '90s.
Oh, so Max Sabbath. I don't know. It's a children's coloring book too, with fun little exercises or whatever you call it. And it's like a one-song flexi disc, so pair of buns instead of paranoid. It's McDonald's fast food meets Black Sabbath, but I mean the bass player looks like the Motorhead logo, and for some reason the drummer is a spoof on the Cat Burglar. I mean, yeah, the Cat Burglar and the Cat Man from Kiss. So.
They toured recently with Okilly Dokilly, which is a Ned Flanders like grindcore band who all dress up like Ned Flanders, and so you got food and you got Simpsons humor.
Nice.
We're gonna have to at least see a picture of Nathan at some point to explain.
Is it that loud?
Oh, dude, it's fucking loud.
Nathan doesn't want to hear about Ned Flanders cover bands.
We've been talking a lot about eating shitty, being fat, and loving that. But I'd rather lean towards more of a original Misfits mindset when it comes to health. It's been tough, though. We've been experiencing a pandemic. So what have you guys been doing to try to stay in shape when you can't go to the gym or you're stuck at home a lot more?
I got one thing. Masturbate. Lots and lots of masturbating.
I got my Danzig love handles for my wife when she wants to get frisky. I put on my Danzig mesh shirt. Got my Danzig mesh going on. Got my Lucifuge second cover man titties going on with the cross in the middle. Yeah. I just stand in the middle of the bedroom with my mesh shirt on and nothing else and just go, yeah.
Sounds like Nathan's been doing some sleeping during his COVID-19.
There you go. And the crowd goes wild.
Woo! Let's go, Nathan. Let's
There you go.
How about you, Rami Stein? What have you been doing to stay in shape?
I bought Power Blocks years ago, and now Doyle's pushing these things. It's like, oh, my favorite Misfits pushing I guess what is now my favorite, like, gym equipment, quote unquote. They're like, they're handles, and then, like, you have a lock, and you pull it out, and you lock into the weight you want.
That looks very sexual.
Got a mesh shirt as well.
I think I sold it. I got picked on in high school for that one. For the one day I wore it. but fuck them, because I'm probably in a lot better shape and a lot better looking than these fucking losers are these days.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of running on the street. I've had kids throw water balloons at me, full cans of beer thrown at me. They've
Jesus
yelled
Christ.
fag. They've yelled homo. I used to get a lot 10 years ago.
Run, Forrest, run!
So I don't know, man. If you run on the street, it's not for the wimpy.
Let runners be. Let them get their road work in and call it a day. And if you don't, and if the no good punks start harassing runners, their cars will be found, and bananas will be placed up with cow pipes.
But this is like, if anything, this is Danzig's perfect moment right now. The world's coming to an end. Evil reigns. I think it's a good moment in history for Glenn Danzig.
I think he's a bit more woke, as the kids call it these days, with like snakes to Christ. I think he was like calling out the bullshit on like the politicians and the churches and everything.
That's
And everyone's
true.
like, oh, he's evil. It's like, no, you're just stupid.
Serpent Jesus, snakes of Christ, gonna show you a world of lies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Why I
the
love
great
that.
thing about the Misfits, though, is like you go through that whole catalog, and then you get to like, oh, there's all this Danzig stuff too, and all I had known was Mother, and then you start getting into that catalog, and especially 1 through 4.
Can we at least talk about the middle band and how amazing this band was?
I was gonna
Amazing.
bring up Samhain, man.
I bought this record on my 14th birthday. One of the best purchases I ever made. Best. And mine is signed by Yuri Vaughn.
Nice.
I think actually all 3 of them are.
That record, I think, is coming from Samhain 3. That is, for anybody who's interested in playing a guitar, it's James Hetfield's favorite album, pretty much, for guitar. So, a big influence. I mean, he plays in the fucking biggest metal band of all time. And
Guitar Hero Metallica had a cover of Mother of Mercy off of Samhain 3.
Mother of Mercy.
To Walk the Night is probably my favorite track. I've actually sung that coming home drunk a few times. Just, To Walk the Night.
I have that on cassette tape. I used to listen to it because I used to walk to school for high school. I used to walk up and down the, back in my day, we used to walk up the hill. But I didn't listen to Samhain 3.
But did you walk the night?
No, it was like 6, 7 in the morning. Whenever
It's
school
nice to some
started.
people.
Walk the early morning.
I mean, yeah, I didn't sleep in school, so yeah, it was basically like when I should have been going to bed.
We're gonna wrap things up here. Remember, Halloween is not too far away, so remember, as
Halloween.
Pumpkin beer comes out today.
perfect. That's why we somehow wound up recording this today. So remember, as Doyle likes to put it, clowning, which means he's getting his makeup ready to go on stage.
That's actually a term for clowns.
Oh, I didn't know that.
two clowns having sex, like what is that called?
That's just funny.
Is there a proper answer?
That's fucking funny. It's fucking funny.
I want to see clown porn, and one clown just break the fourth wall to the camera and be like, honk their name.
What would be squirting? Would it be the flower thing? Or?
It'd be like a double. It'd be like that gonna be like the Houdini, the whole like Houdini, where it's like you spit to give the illusion that the man's taking care of business, and then when the female or male or whoever is not looking, then you take care of your business in your face because now you see it, now you don't. So it'd be like a clown variation, a clown Houdini, or the clown-dini.
Oh,
Yeah, that could be like the clown DP, where it's like the vagina's the clown car. How many clowns can fit?
What would the maneuver be for the MisFAT?
With the clowns? Does this have to do with clown sex?
I mean, they paint their face.
Something to do with like devil. Well, I think inherently the MisFATs are lazy.
Oh, God.
They're gonna be on their back and letting the girl do all the work, or the other. So it's gonna be like I don't know, call it
Stroking
like
the
devil lock, like the
devil
lazy-
cock.
Yeah, you guys gotta help me out here with like Misfits terminology, but like something to do with being a lazy fuck, being we
Ain't
are
no goddamn son of a bitch.
All right, folks. That's pretty much it for our show. I am Mummies on Main Street.
I am Method Mike. Hey.
Give a big shout out to our two guests, Mike Noble, Rami Stein.
I could go for some vegan ice cream right now.
Yeah,
It gets you hungry talking about MisFATS.
This whole thing got me hungry.
So we're going to go pig out, and you guys can as well. Enjoy your dinner.
We are all overweight. We are all overweight. We are overweight. We are all overweight. We are all overweight. We are overweight.
You gotta like, subscribe, and share. Fuck off as well.